So I have been planning my Christmas village build for about 3 months. I went to Menards to look for wood for the base of my new Christmas village. This year I am going to have a lower and an upper portion of my Christmas village, and I pulled out my old buildings that I had to try to plan the layout. I also am going to be including a train this year. Every year I try to make my Christmas village bigger and better. The lower portion of my Christmas village, which is going to be my town square, I made out of a 4x4, what they call a handy panel. I am planning out here my platforms that I'm going to build around the edges of the town square. To build my platforms, I use a combination of toothpicks and wood glue. Here I am putting together one of my platforms for my building. I am using foam blocks that I picked up last year from Amazon and some scrap styrofoam that I had been saving from one of the packages that I had gotten. This church I've had since the first year I made a Christmas village. This year I decided that I'm going to make it a little bit more dramatic, and I am going to build a whole platform for it, which is inspired from the movie Mary Poppins, because I always thought about the church in Mary Poppins that had like this kind of grand entrance. So I wanted to have my church and my Christmas village have a more grand entrance. I'm just applying school glue and the cobblestone paper that I always put in my town square. I'm applying on top. And then to the face, I am applying brick roadway that I picked up from Walmart. Platforms that might seem really simple, but it completely changes the look of my Christmas village. All around the edges of my Christmas village, I've built various types of platforms at various heights. I cover them all with this cobblestone design paper that I print out. Here you can see that my son is helping me apply the cobblestone paper with school glue. Next, I am doing the town square, the bottom of the town square. I'm covering it with cobblestone paper. I use underneath it a poster board. So I cut it to shape. It's not completely reaching out to the platforms because buildings will be covered in that area. And so I just glue it down. And then over the cobblestone paper, I put Mod Podge. And you can see here that I use one of my brick roadways for the front. On the face of some of the platforms, I'm actually applying brick, and some of the ones I am painting. On this particular platform, I'm going to be carving some stairs in using my hot wire foam cutter. And you can see that it goes really quickly when you have the foam cutter. It kind of takes a little bit of practice, and then you can easily carve any kind of shapes into your foam. My 2 tips that I would give beginners who want to try the hot wire foam cutter is that 1, draw out your stairs before you actually carve them, and 2, practice with a couple scraps of styrofoam first before you cut what you really want to cut well. Here you can see I'm designing, I'm carving out a design on the side of the wall because I want it to look like more stone look. Next, I'm going to paint the platform with black paint. I'm using a brush that can more easily get into the crevices that I carved in. I start with black for the base coat, and then I am going to be adding 2 colors on top of that. For the next coat, I am going to apply pewter gray, and I'm going to use my fan brush so I can very lightly cover it. So I want some of the black to show through. So I'm not applying it all in like the crevices, but I'm just like lightly brushing it over there. I think the technique that painters tend to use is like a dry brushing technique. For the last layer, I dry brush white paint. I'm not getting it in the crevices at all, but I am doing it on the edge of the stairs just to make it look like snow has fallen on there. My goal is to make it look like a natural stone look. Next, I'm going to dress up my church platform some more by adding these fencing pieces that I got from Leanna last year. I'll also be adding some hedges along the side that I got from a diorama kit that I got from Hobby Lobby. I cover all of my platforms and cobblestone paper areas with Mod Podge. It helps seal it and makes it last longer, but it also gives it like an icy look, which I love for these winter scenes. I also place 2 bottle brush trees on the platform, and I place these little lampposts. You can see here that I have various platforms all around my Christmas Village town square. I'm going to be painting the sides of some of them with my pewter gray paint, and then some of the other sides I will be covering with plaster strips and painting it to make it look like stone. The platforms that I'm covering with the plaster strips are really the ones that are like, what do you call it, hodgepodge. The ones that are like all kinds of leftover scraps of styrofoam that I put together to make a platform. So I got these plaster strips from Amazon, and they're really easy to use. You just dip them in some water, you spread them out over the area that you're trying to cover, and it's nice because I use a lot of scraps to build things in my Christmas Village, and I can just make it all look finished with the plaster. I cover the top of it with cobblestone paper, and then once the plaster is completely dry, I paint it. For the areas that I cover with the plaster, I'm painting it with a combination of black paint, my gray pewter paint, and a little bit of white paint to lighten it up. I use the same technique I use with any area that I want it to look like a natural stone look. So I use the darkest layer, and then I cover it lighter gray and then white to make it look like kind of snowy. And then it gives it more of a natural rocky mountainside finish. For this platform, you'll see in a second, it's really pieced together with scraps of styrofoam, and I actually leave the back of it open because it's not going to show at all. Next, I will be building a couple sets of stairs for my Christmas Village out of styrofoam using my hot wire cutter. I start with cutting out the styrofoam, then I paint it black, and then I painted gray and then white over that. I also created some little steps that I will be using to get to various levels of my platform just to make it a little bit more realistic. So I misplaced my tripod temporarily, so you'll see me cutting this foam block here with one hand and holding the camera with the other hand, and that's why this foam block is kind of flip-flopping around. Normally, you would hold on to it with one hand and cut it, and it would be a lot smoother. I decided that I want to add a railing to my stairs. So I used some wood pieces that I picked up from Hobby Lobby and some recycled wood pieces to create the railing for my stairs. First, I add some scrap styrofoam to the sides, and then I stick these wood, they're actually honey stir sticks, that after I was done with them, I washed them off and saved them for my Christmas village. Then I have these short pegs that I'm putting in the blocks that came with in the other package. And then I will be gluing round dolls to form the railing and then painting it. I decided I want a little bit of contrast with the different parts of my railing, so I decided to do the handrail portion a green color. Next, I decided I wanted to paint the round tops gold color. So I used this gold paint that I have to just do the round sections. But then I don't like the color gold that I have. So I actually go out and buy another metallic gold to go over it. But here I'm just touching up the styrofoam pieces that I glued on the side to make it look like more stone-like the other portions. I pick up some metallic gold paint because I wanted the tops to look more like metal. So I really like that addition much better than the original matte gold that I had. I take this garland tie and I am forming a mini garland to go down the hand railing of my stairs. I bend it back and forth before I hot glue it on just to make it look like it has like a little, what's the word I would use? Like a swag, is that the word I use? I'm not sure. But I wanted to look more realistic, so I kind of bend it back and forth so there's curvature. And then I will be adding some what I call ornaments to the garland. I make the garland by using these Mardi Gras beads from the Dollar Tree, and I cut them off to have individual beads, and then I just am gluing beads down the garland on my stairs. My goal is to have it look like it was decorated with Christmas ornaments. And here is one of the finished stairs.
Next, I'm going to be making a couple of fences for my Christmas Village platforms, like the higher portions. I think it'll just be a nice aesthetic and look realistic. And so I'm taking these very skinny popsicle sticks. I glued them to my little peg pieces, and then I'm going to glue it to a base. And I painted all of the pieces. The top portion I am painting gold, just like the top of my stairs. I purchased a hole saw kit to attach to my drill so I could drill holes in the platform so the cords to the Christmas Village building could go through there and not be seen. And now it's finally time to add my buildings and my people to my Christmas Village. Most of my buildings came from Walmart's Christmas Village collection. A few of them are Leanna buildings, but majority of them are from Walmart. My son insisted in getting this fountain for the Christmas Village this year, and I'm actually glad that I did get it because it ends up being a really nice addition to the village this year. If you have not seen how I made my candy factory, you gotta check that video out. It's really cool and it was a really fun DIY. These two are my only Leanna buildings, the Christmas shop and the sweater shop. They're super cute and I'm really excited to have them as additions to my Christmas Village this year. Unlike my buildings, the majority of my people in my Christmas Village are Leanna people that I ordered off of Amazon or got from Michael's. Leanna just has the greatest variety of people for my Christmas Village. My kids like to help me decide where to place people for my Christmas Village. Some of the placement is easy because Like one I had before, they were like do the telescope, and that's obviously going to go close to maybe the science museum. But other ones, I just try to figure out like where they would go shopping or where they would be walking and place them there. My kids love being part of that each year for my Christmas village. Now it's time to add some of the final touches to my Christmas village, including putting some greenery around, some little bottle brush trees, and some little hedges. I'm also placing some holiday signs out. I have had these signs for several years, and they're Leanna signs. And I'm just going to place them in front of the appropriate buildings. I felt like the middle of the town square was a little empty, so I'm just going to be placing some little shrubs and tiny trees and these benches that I had left over from last year. I wasn't really using them for anything. And then this little fire hydrant. I'm going to just add them to my town square to kind of fill up the middle of it. I purchased this little VW bug for my daughter a few years back, and she asked me if I wanted to use it for my Christmas village. I said, sure, it's actually about the right size. I am placing my lamps all around, my street lamps all around the town square. They actually are really bright, a lot brighter than I thought that they were going to be. And they just add a really cool ambiance because I never had street lamps before this year's Christmas village. So I would definitely say it was a really good addition. And I bought them off of Amazon. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year I am trying this stuff called Sticky Max from Leanna. It's just to help the figurines stay in place because it's kind of like it's bigger than any of my Christmas villages, so it's kind of sticking out a little bit further, and I just don't want things to get bumped or knocked over or anything broken. So I'll have to give you a review on how that does, because I really didn't want to hot glue stuff into my cobblestone paper because I wanted to be able to reuse it again next year. I am really loving the way that this Christmas village is turning out this year. Don't forget, this is only the lower part, the town square. I have a whole nother section of my Christmas village that is going to be coming up. So what you see me doing here is adding touches of snow. It is a snowflakes that I get, and I've gotten this bag. This is probably the third year I've used the same bag of snowflakes. So it actually really stretches, but I like to add like piles of snow because, if this is a real village, I feel like the main areas would be shoveled, but there would be snow that would collect in certain places, or if it was coming down, it would kind of like pile certain places, and just feel like it gives it more of a realistic, charming atmosphere to the Christmas village overall. Each year I build my Christmas village. I always have to show you what it looks like at nighttime when the lights are turned off. It really gives off the best ambiance. I hope you enjoyed part 1 of this year's Christmas village build. I loved creating this year's Christmas village. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and you should definitely subscribe so you do not miss part 2 of this year's Christmas village build. Take care, God bless, and Merry Christmas.